Good morning. My name is Vicki Terry. I am the Executive Director of the Memphis branch NAACP. And I just want to say thank you all for coming out this morning to support us as the media. We appreciate everything that you all do for our community. And we want to make sure that the truth is heard this morning. We want to make sure that we encourage everyone that has been disfranchised by this, the voting things that are happening here in our community. We need to make sure that everyone has the right to vote and gets out to vote. We encourage the ones that have not been able to vote. Call us at 901-521-1343 if you need a ride to the polls. The Memphis branch will make sure that you get there. Thank you again for coming out. And next we will have Kermit Moore. He will come up. He is the president of the NAACP.
Good morning. Kermit Moore, Kermitmoore. The leaders of the Shelby County Election Commission stated on Monday that the errors in the judges' races were attributed to one machine, and there were 307 voters affected. The commission needs to immediately send out a voters advisory correcting and contact every last one of the voters that voted at said precinct individually. They can pull the records from registration. Any error that removes races from a ballot is a civil rights concern, not just an administrative error. There were reports of this at multiple early voting sites. We need transparency to ensure that the integrity of this election. If human error made this happen, what exact safeguards have been put in place that this does not happen again? No citizen should be in limbo feeling that their vote did not count.
My name is Willie Simon, Williesimon. I'm the chair of the Shelby County Democratic Party. Basically, we're in a situation right now that, first I want to thank all voters that have already participated in the process, because every voter has made a difference in what we're seeing across the board. We're seeing record numbers show up based off of what we've seen over the last two election cycles. And so we want to encourage you to continue to show up. Although we've seen some things that have been happening with some of the voting locations, I think it's important that we let the voters know this is not a time to stay home. It's a time to still participate. Get out, let your voice be heard. No matter what you see or what you hear, your voice will be heard, and we will make sure that anybody that has these discrepancies, we'll make sure those things get rectified. So as we talked about some of the incidents, I know we talked about the 300 ballots at a particular machine in Bartlett were compromised. But we also want to talk about the fact that there were about 700 absentee votes that are out there as well.
Say that.
And when we start talking about that situation, that's a total of 1,000 votes.
1,000 votes.
Separation of some of these pivotal races we've had recently were 100 votes, 167 votes here and there. This could make a significant difference in whether somebody wins their race or loses their race. So we need to figure out how we're going to rectify that. The Election Commission needs to answer questions on how that's going to be dealt with. And it has to be something swift. We don't want to hear about something 3 to 4 weeks later. It has to be done now.
Amen.
When we start having conversations about what are we going to see tomorrow, the most important thing voters need to know is that you have a right to let your voice be heard. When you walk in the door, take your time, look at your ballot, make sure the machine works properly, If you're pressing on a button and making sure and trying to go out and press, you press your selection and it changes, you need to let somebody know. You shouldn't walk out of there feeling like, I don't know what just happened. So we encourage you to use the people that are there. Talk to your poll worker. Talk to anybody that you may know that's a poll watcher. But make sure you exercise everything you need to make sure you feel comfortable about how you voted and what you saw when you voted. Make sure your vote is counted right. The other thing is there are a lot of things that happen that are not just related to the ballot. One of the things that I got reported a lot was there was constant movement of this 100-foot boundary. Got several complaints on that. I think we have to have consistency in how we operate as the election commission. I think we have to have consistency around times. There was a situation that occurred on Saturday where on the website it listed that voting was 8 to 4. Then mysteriously, it was said 11 to 7 at some point. I was there and I witnessed a voter that brought in her phone and she pulled it out and she said, listen, I'm supposed to be, it says 11 to 7. And it did indeed say 11 to 7 on August 1st. And so some people were allowed to vote, but some people were turned away. And I think that if those people don't show up tomorrow, those folks were frankly disenfranchised. And so we just need to make sure that we're consistent in our messaging. We have to make sure that if there were problems, we need to make sure that we go and correct those things. And we have to be forthright with giving us a real explanation and not just saying human error and it's one space and one machine. We have to be sure that all the machines are working right. And I think it's one of the biggest things that we have to realize is that every one of these things that have happened kind of damages the integrity of the confidence of people in this voting cycle. So, I mean, we got people that's willing to participate, but they want to make sure that their voices are heard. And so I beseech you, go out and do your job. Vote. Voters, do your job. We're on this side. You have a lot of community leaders here, and they're going to stand behind whatever you report to us, because there's ways to report any issues that you've had. You can report it to the NAACP. You can report it to the Shelby County Democratic Party. You can report it to any elected official you need to talk to, because trust me, it's going to get to us somehow. But we want to make sure that you do not let a situation go unreported so that we can make sure that your voice is being heard. So go out here and vote. Make sure we do the things that we need to do. And I'm going to turn it over to someone else. I think we're going to have Mark Billingsley up next. Because he's the Shelby County Republican Party Chair. Rachel Wall could not be here, but Mr. Billingsley is going to speak on her behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and I echo everything you just said. My name is Mark Billingsley. I am a former Shelby County Commissioner. I'm also Commissioner-elect Mark Billingsley, Billingsley. And I'm here formally today. I was asked by the Republican Party to represent our party today. This is the second time the Republican Party leadership and the Democratic Party leadership have cried out for transparency with this election. This is unprecedented, quite frankly, to see the Democratic Party and the Republican Party leadership coming together to ask for transparency for all the voters of Shelby County that we try to do each and every time. The initial reports of 700 absentee ballots came and went. And then after that, the Election Commission sent out FedEx envelopes with another ballot, which quite frankly confused Democrats and Republicans. They didn't know if they should return the first ballot, the second ballot, and now we have a second error that was human error with these additional voting machines that were not programmed appropriately. As Chairman Simon shared, these are not the only incidents. Some of these incidents have started since the very, very beginning of these races. They're not as significant as these votes, but I'll tell you this. When in February, I reported that a gentleman from Orange Mound was running against me. And I called the gentleman and I said to him, "Do you live in District 4? And he said, "No, I I live in Orange Mound. And we spoke. His name was Gregory Holmes. He was running for Shelby County Commission. The Shelby County Election Commission filled out his paperwork inappropriately and actually put him in my district as a candidate. It took days, if not a week, to get that one error corrected. Here's a gentleman who wants to run for office, and they literally, in their own handwriting, put him in the wrong district. That has been reconciled, but again, we had more issues with petitions being issued. In February, we asked that petitions, when someone fills out a form to run for office, those petitions are shared with the public. They're shared with the media, so you know who is running for office. I was told the Election Commission does not exist to serve and provide candidates with campaign data. That was the response I got back from the Election Commission.
My Lord.
So what we're asking for today is integrity and transparency.
Amen.
We're not talking about 300 votes. We're not talking about 700 votes. We're talking about 1,000 votes that that could potentially decide the election, especially for these individuals who've raised their hands to be judicial leaders. And as candidates work, they spend their hard-earned time, their money, their resources, their friends. We have two of those candidates with us today, Ms. Pollard and Mr. Frula, who both worked very, very hard.
Amen.
The judicial races are not partisan. They are not partisan. So both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are here today for standing up for races that aren't even partisan. But when you work really hard and you put your name on the line, you deserve to be on the ballot appropriately. We also have, and I'll end with this, we also have a juvenile court race where Janine Gordon, who is a Democrat, was listed over and over and over as a Republican. That was given to the commercial appeal in error by the Election Commission. So again, we have lots of issues. Election day is incredibly important for this county. It will decide your leadership for the next 4 years, and we have to ask for accountability. And again, today you've got the Republican Party and the Democratic Party today airing our real, true concerns for this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Gail Jones Carson, and I'm the president and CEO of the Memphis Urban League.
Amen.
I am also the second vice president of the NAACP Memphis branch. I am here basically to talk about the issues that we are having with this election. As they talk about 300 and 700 votes and 1,000 votes, I question that. How do we know it's just 300? How do we know it was just 700? There is an integrity problem that we have with this election commission, which has been quiet for some years now. And now this is popping up all over again where we are having all of these issues. When I voted, the first day of early voting, one race that I voted in, I touched a candidate of my choice. The other candidate's name came up 3 times. 3 times. But I'm tenacious. So what I want voters who go vote tomorrow, and everybody needs to go vote tomorrow.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
When you go vote tomorrow, when you finish voting, it gives you an opportunity, the machine gives you an opportunity to get a summary of everyone you voted for. I ask everyone to just take 60 seconds to push that button and go back and look and see who all you voted for to make sure whomever you voted for is showing up. That is absolutely critical. Another thing that's absolutely critical, today, a day before the election, everyone needs to know where they are supposed to be going to vote tomorrow, because they didn't vote early when they could have voted anywhere. Tomorrow, you must go to your voting location. And if it rains, we know some folks ain't showing up. Also, if people go to the wrong location, if they go before work or during lunch, they may not have time to go to another location. Please look that information up today. Those are 2 critical things that I want to share today. Look up where you're supposed to vote tomorrow. Make sure after you cast all your votes that you go back and look at the summary of everybody you voted for and who you voted for is on there. If not, it gives you an opportunity to go back and make a change. Please do that. And 3, go vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Andre Brooks with the
Amen.
African Methodist Episcopal
ministerial lines here in Memphis. And we are in an urgent time in our nation where we see and understand that one unvoted voter is a threat to voters everywhere. And we see that the vote in a democracy hangs on everyone participating. And so as we are challenged, not only locally but globally, with making sure that our democracy works, we have these individuals here who are really saying that locally there's a question of no contest when it comes to the leadership of the election commission. And so these kind of mistakes are not warranted, and our concern should be to everyone as we try to make sure that this idea of democracy and shared governance and participation with the people is an important, urgent matter. And so, but voters, and make this appeal to voters, and as the individuals behind me and around our city and our nation, appeal for you to vote, trust the process, and we will make sure that your vote indeed counts. And so we're calling that we clean up what we mess up, human error, mechanical error, computer error. We have no room for it at this time. And so we get out to vote, you gotta count, you have to participate in order for the democracy to work for all people to foster shared prosperity.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. All right, Will.
Good morning. Will Richardson, WILLRICHARDSON. I am the Vice Chair of the Democratic Party, as well as your Democratic candidate for Shelby County Commissioner District 8.
Amen.
I want to send a message to the voters to not be dismayed, don't be discouraged, and whatever you do, don't stay at home tomorrow. Get out to vote. As we have really worked hard from a party standpoint on galvanizing our community, getting everybody fired up, charged up to show to the polls, and I think that the early numbers have reflected our efforts. But when you have a situation that deters or derails democracy in this manner, it's disheartening to the people. But I want you to know that your vote still matters. If you have not voted yet, go out and vote, because your voice needs to be heard. We are in some very unprecedented times, and the only way to make change is to get out to vote. If you're dissatisfied with the conditions of your community, get out and vote. If you're dissatisfied with the way things are handled from a governmental standpoint, get out and vote. But the only way to make change is to get out and vote. And as a candidate, I know the work that goes into trying to win a seat. And when you try to win a seat, you have to spend money, you have to be away from your family, you have to miss work sometimes, you have to lose sleep. And to do all of that and find that there are people that wanted to support you that may not have been heard is very disheartening. And so I want you to be encouraged. I want us to continue to fight the fight, and let's get out and vote. And at this time now, we'll let some of the candidates speak that are involved in that race and hear from them personally and hear what they're saying and the way that this makes them feel and understand their concerns in this matter. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I am Mitzi Pollard, candidate for Circuit Court Judge Division 3. I have a prepared statement, and it's that every eligible voter should receive the correct ballot and have the opportunity to vote in the race for which they are eligible. Any issue that results in voters not being presented with the full ballot is a serious matter and deserves a thorough review by the Shelby County Election Commission. At this time, my campaign, we're still continuing to gather information and will continue to monitor the Commission's review of the matter. It would be premature at this time for me to speculate about the impact of this issue or any potential legal action before all facts are known and the appropriate election officials have completed their review. Our focus continues to be and is, and especially tomorrow, the last day, the actual day of election, is to focus on remaining sure that every eligible voter has confidence that their vote is counted accurately and that the integrity of the election process is maintained. Having said that, I echo everything that everyone has said this morning. As a candidate, we have exhausted a lot of time, a lot of energy into this process, and it would be unfortunate for the process to fail. I want to encourage everyone, Shelby County, get out and vote. Your voice, your vote is your voice. The only way to potentially remedy this is for the voice of the people to be heard, and I want to encourage everyone to get out and exercise your right to vote tomorrow. The polls open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, August 6th. Get out and vote. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Chris Frula, F-R-U-L-L-A. I'm your current Circuit Court Judge in Division III and a candidate to keep that seat. I want to thank the NAACP for hosting this event this morning. It's fitting for an organization that's fought so hard and so long for voting rights to host this when voting rights are being taken away now by simple human error. It's unfortunate. We can't let it be a distraction, though. It's good to have this press conference so that there's transparency to the community, and more importantly, so that the community knows when they go vote tomorrow what to look for. Go to the Shelby County Election Commission's website and look at the sample ballots. Whether you intend to pick a Democrat ballot, Republican ballot, or nonpartisan ballot, all three of those sample ballots are there on the website. Go on the website, go over the races, familiarize yourself with those, because if you go to the poll and do not see one of those races, you need to speak up. And to be clear, it was not just myself and Ms. Pollard's race that's been affected. There was 4 state judicial races that were left off, not only 800 absentee ballots, but 307 that we know of ballots at the one precinct out in Lakeland. But go there, vote, and if you don't see a race, raise your hand. Do not cast that vote if you do not see a race. And if a poll worker tries to tell you something about a district or anything like that, judicial races are countywide.
Say it.
You can be anywhere in Shelby County, any district, and vote on our races. So do not let a poll worker tell you otherwise. Do not hit that button until you are confident you have voted on all the races. Everybody in the races, we've worked hard, we've worked tirelessly, and we're out there because we love this community and we want to make it better. And so we want your voice to be heard, and that's why we're here today, to make sure everyone's aware of the issues and aware of what they can do going forward. The only reason we learned about the issue out in Lakeland was that a voter contacted my campaign and several others. Without that, we might have never known. That's scary, okay? It really is. So please, take pride in your voice in the community, take pride in your vote, make sure the ballots are correct, and if not, let people know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Yawn. My God.
I'm Ian Randolph. I'm chair of the Political Action Committee for the NAACP. This is my grandson, Anthony Ian. And I would like to again encourage everybody to get out and vote. While we have seen an increase in the number of voters this election cycle, we need more. We need everybody. Anthony, what are you going to tell them?
I need you to vote.
Amen.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for coming out. I want to give our number again, 901-521-1343. If you need a ride to the poll, I need you to call as soon as possible so that we can try and schedule your rides. And you need to know what poll that you will be voting at so that I can give that to the driver as well. If you have any questions, just please let me know. Everyone, get out and vote.
Do you guys think that this wasn't intentional, or these mistakes were intentional?
Oh, great question.
That's a good question. I would venture to say that with all eyes on Shelby County, I don't think anybody would do something intentionally like that. But you can be intentional, but you can make a mistake that looks like it. And so what we want to make sure is that we don't disperse any kind of allegations on somebody like that. I think what we need to do is make sure that as we discovered what took place, that is dealt with. And, we don't know the intention of, they said human error. We also know that the incident that occurred with Janine Gordon, that situation could have been corrected a lot quicker. But luckily everybody knows her and her family, and they know she's a Democrat, and so that shouldn't have affected her race. But nevertheless, you got new voters that don't even know anything about her that might have not voted for because her name was listed in the commercial appeal that could have been corrected right away. And so there are questions about the expediency about dealing with those things.
Say that.
And so, so that's where we lie with that. Again, we don't want to cast aspersions like we have corruption everywhere, but we want to make sure that if you're not, show us that you're going to work to fix the problem.
Absolutely, more than 1,000 votes impacted by this. If, obviously, you have Republicans and Democrats here in unity demanding for accountability from the Shelby County Election Commission, my question for you is, depending on the outcome of this, not even just the outcome of the election, but could you guys potentially take legal action depending on if or how the Shelby County election handles this?
Well, I'm sure, yeah, everything's on the table. If we see some egregious things happen, especially, I mean, we got a whole day to look at tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow goes off without a glitch. But even these things have already occurred. They have to be rectified. And if further work needs to be done, further action will be taken.
Absolutely. And what would, I know that we had a lot of people speak here, but what would you want for voters to know when it comes to, obviously, you know, the mistakes that were made in terms of doing their part? Can you just break down and simplify what you need for voters to do this upcoming election?
What I need for voters to do is go ahead and do their part of the job, show up and vote. And do know that you have a group of community leaders just like these elected officials that are going to make sure that your vote gets counted. And if we see any disparities, we're going to address those, and we're going to hold the Election Commission accountable. And I believe after they've had the conversation and conversations constantly with them, I do hope that we go into this with a spirit of excellence so that we can execute the way we should for Shelby County.
I'm sorry if I'm asking a bunch of questions. You guys can chime in whenever, but you mentioned that, I think you, sorry, what's your name, sir?
Judge Frula.
You mentioned that you would not have known unless a voter reached out to you. Do you think that the Shelby County Election Commission would have admitted fault if it wasn't for you reaching out to them?
You know,
Great question.
it is a good question. I don't know the answer, but what I do know is that it took a lot of work to track that down because the voter that contacted us initially told us she had voted in Bartlett. My campaign immediately contacted the Election Commission. They started looking at all the machines in Bartlett, came back to us and said, there's no problem here. We said, we know there's a problem. So we got the individual's personal information, address, precinct, et cetera, tracked it further, and we were able to track it that she actually voted at, I believe, Christian Life Church. It's in Lakeland, technically, I think. And so then, after discovering that, then the Election Commission went and searched all those machines at that precinct and finally said, oh, there was a problem. We said, yes, we know. We told you there was a problem. So, again, I'll just stress the importance to voters and anyone watching, hopefully who are all voters or will go vote tomorrow. Please do not let these errors go unnoticed because, again, your vote matters, and the only way we can count it is if you let us know there's an issue before you cast your ballot.
Man.
That's right.
I'd like to chime in on that answer. My campaign received the same email, and we initially thought it was a voter in Bartlett as well. We reported it to the Election Commission the very next day because I believe the email came through around 11 o'clock that night. We reported it first thing in the morning, and my campaign has still yet to hear back from the Election Commission. So I just hope that the Election Commission is truly following through with their commitment to the people of Shelby County and will do a complete and full investigation and be transparent about it.
How can the Shelby County Election Commission make this right?
Well, the only way to make it right is for every eligible voter who is entitled to vote in a certain race is afforded that opportunity. That's the only way to right the wrong.
The Election Commission said at their press conference that there is no way to go back and know which one of the 307, which ones are the 307 voters. Is that consistent with what you all know about?
Well, let me ask you this question. How do they know it was 300 people?
Stay with me now.
How do they know that?
Because that's how many voted on that.
So how many machines was it at that location?
More than that.
So how do they know it was just that one machine?
They're saying, well, that's true.
I don't trust anything about what they say. I don't trust these numbers. How they rectify it, I don't know. I do know that if there are close races, that are within 1,000 votes, then that's a problem for the candidates. If the candidates don't have close races, if they win by more than 1,000 votes, then more than likely their challenge won't stand. But if anybody has a close race within 400 votes, that's a challenge. How are they going to rectify it? Then they say they mailed out 700 to 800 absentee ballots. We don't know. How do they know this information? You say one machine. They had several machines. I want to know myself as a voter, as a person who believes in social justice and equity and voters' rights. I don't believe what they're saying. And why this election? Why this August election? And then why is it a focus on 4 judicial races? There were other folks running for office too. How are they impacted? Y'all got questions, I got questions. It's a problem. It's a problem. We ain't had problems, at least it ain't been spoken in a while about problems with that election commission. Since the folks left, and since it blew wave in 2016, 18, and whatever, now here we come again with some more problems. I'm trying to understand, is this what we're going to have in November for the midterm elections? They need to get this right. November is critical in this country. We got to get it right. I don't believe nothing they say.
All right now.
All right. Do we have any other questions?
You talk about transparency and from the election commission. Kind of walk me through on, I mean, what are you expecting them to do at this very moment before the election tomorrow?
Well, there should be investigations on all these things that were cited, and we should have some kind of document to tell us what you did to rectify those things. At the end of the day, when we talk about transparency, the thing is, I'm afraid of what we don't know. We know what we know, but we don't know a lot of things.
Right.
And so that's the problem. And so when we get to a point to where we're guessing and we get information, we try to figure it out. I mean, that's a bad spot to be in. So I will say that we're going to be diligently looking. Now, we weren't looking before, but we're really going to look now.
You always, need to be looking.
But sometimes when you get comfortable with the fact we haven't had this, and folks walk in and walk out and walk out the door, we've gotten comfortable, but we won't be comfortable anymore.
No more.
So we'll make sure that we all look, and we'll be diligent at the polls as people walk in, as the people we contact go in. We're going to tell them to have the eye of an eagle when they walk in the door.
And I'm pretty sure you contacted them. What have they said to you personally or anyone in the room about, like I said, this meeting, but also the information that you want?
Well, there are investigations going on. What they told the public is what they've told us. There are investigations. They're looking into things. They even told the public, I think they said it was a human error, and they tracked it back to, I don't know if they tracked it back to the particular human, but they said it was a human error. And so, excuse me, I think we have an opportunity to just make sure they hold true to what they're saying. We want to make sure that they get back with us, and we're going to make sure that, as we move forward, you guys hold them responsible, and we will too. Make sure that they get the right information back to us, and we go from there.
And I think this is my last question, but when you have this meeting set up and you talk about transparency and you talk about all the issues that have been coming with the voting, how do you make sure that the people viewing this at home won't feel discouraged to even go out there and vote?
Well, what we want to tell you is, at the end of the day, the reason why some of this stuff happens is because you showed up. And you need to continue to show up. Because what happens is, when you have an overarching problem in the community, the only way our people get a chance to say something is through that ballot. And when we have sure that we don't let anybody discourage us from going to do this. Now, I'm going to speak to when you said intentional. If it was intentional, it can be a discourager to the voter, if that was the intent. If there was not anything intentional happening, the voter needs to know that this was a mistake, a faux pas, something that just took place, a hiccup. But at the end of the day, the voter needs to know that your job is still to go out here and vote. I'm going to tell you, there's not one person, the blood, sweat, and tears of all these people that ran for office and supporting these campaigns, they've gone to great lengths to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen. That's why we're here today.
Say that.
That's why we're here today, to let them know that we are looking out for their best interests. And the first person to look out for your best interests is you. You make your voice be heard, and then we'll do the rest. We'll follow up to make sure whatever happened, whatever goes on, you made the effort, and we're going to make the extra effort to make sure your voice is heard.
Are there any questions that we left off the table that you think we should have asked?
Anybody, any questions that they should have asked?
Anything that you
Yep.
want to share?
I just think that we need to have, transparency at all lengths. Even within the next 24 hours, we'll be out voting. We have to make sure the Election Commission knows that we're watching, but we also want to hear from them. We need to hear from them today, not after the election is over, when results have come out and hypotheticals begin to birth. We're talking about right now, what are you doing to ensure that tomorrow's process will be streamlined to success and not disruption, discouragement, and faultiness. We need to know what they're doing right now to ensure that every vote counts and every vote on that ballot reflects the district or the countywide that those voters are in. To have anything less than that right now is totally unacceptable.
Say that.
Also, if a voter goes out tomorrow and they see a problem, or they find out that they're not being able to vote, they need to call us, let us know, so that we can try to handle that situation within the NAACP. We'll make sure that it's turned over to Ian. Ian will contact the Election Commission, and then we'll work together. And I am just so happy just to see the Democrat Party and the Republican Party here together as one, because when we work together, we can accomplish a lot of things. And I think that there is a problem at the Election Commission right now. I don't know on whose side or what's going on, but we need to make sure that they are investigated, just so that we can make sure that our rights are not violated. And thank you so much again. Okay, again, my number, 901-521-1343.
Say that.
That's the number right here at the NAACP office, 901-521-1343. Thank you.
Is there a certain time period people should be calling? I'm sorry, I said that too fast.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Certain time
Is there a certain time period that people should be calling?
They should call between, you can always leave a message, but the office opens at 8:30 in the morning. If y'all need me to get here at 7 in the morning, I will. You come also, okay? I will let you come as well. Well, you can come up here and I'll let you, okay, now I'll drive.
They should call before they press the button.
Yes,
Right,
you
that's the
should.
important part. Before
Yes,
they cast their vote.
exactly. If there's a problem, call, because I can have the number transferred to my personal cell, okay? But someone will be here in person by 8:30 to 5 o'clock. If we have to stay, we will stay.
Amen.
It's no problem. We have volunteers that can handle these situations, just like Brethren is here as a volunteer, and I welcome him to come. Thank you.
Will there be a follow-up press conference, or does that all depend on what the Shelby County election committee does?
I'm certain there will probably be.
There will
Yes.
probably be a debrief, and we talk about some of the things that are lingering. I think that's an opportunity to do that. The other piece to that is, I will like to say that the two election commissioners that are assigned to us, we're in constant contact with them. They're very responsive, and so we will basically, I'll call them all day long. And so we have open dialogue all day to make sure things are happening. So we'll have live and updated information about what's happening as it happens. So we'll be doing that.
Just like the judge and the magistrate were saying, you can call the campaign. The election commission number, I guess I can give that out, is 222-1200. They will be open. And if they're not open, you can call anybody you know that's associated with these campaigns. You can call this lady right here. She takes all calls. She will they got her phone number. I put it on Facebook. They know Vicky. They know Patrice Robinson. They know me. Whether you can vote or not, you're still a part of the process. 222-1200. And I will assist the NAACP. I can't be here at 7.
Why not?
I cannot be here at 7. Not because I'll be in the bed. I'll be with several campaigns. But I can assure you, if you call these campaigns, I see the press laughing. I can't be here at 7, and I'm going to keep that confidential because I have to be with other campaigns. We'll be up all night.
Okay.
This is critical. The thing that I'm seeing the most, and I think both the judge and the magistrate said it, people, when they go in, and they both said it, when they were calling me, they don't feel like they have any hope. And they're like, I'm seeing this, you said it well. Again and again and again. When is it going to stop? This is one election. But now we're seeing it that it's becoming habitual. The first time you put your finger on the fire, that may be accidental or negligent. The second time you put it on there, that was intentional.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.